Hey everyone, Albion here. Um, so, uh, from what I understand, Rebel Queen put up a new video on this channel, and she mentioned that I got some good news. And I discussed it with her, and I've been trying to figure out should I do this video or not to explain what's been going on and the weird, unusual situation that's been I've been dealing with for about a third of my life. Technically longer, but still. Um, I discussed it with her, and yeah, we both thought it would probably be a good idea for me to do this video. Um, so, and I think we mentioned it or referenced it a few times in the past. So, there was my birth was a weird situation. I'm not going to get into the details, but it was because of what occurred in terms of who was my guardian, who blah blah blah, all this stuff. And yeah, being of incredible luck, just absolutely grade A luck from the moment I was born. Um, for a majority of my life, I did not have a state birth certificate or a social security number. For those of you who don't know that, what that means or what that is, that's weird. That is strange. And the reason for that being is, well, on the state side, it's because the county never had a chance, the hospital never had a chance to send the state my birth certificate because, well, its records room kind of burned down after I was born. So that's a thing. If that's a sign, I don't know what it is. But so because of that, I never got a state birth certificate, and then because of that and some other issues, I was never granted a social security number. Um, the problem was I did not know until I was like about 3 or 4 months before I turned 18. Um, for those of you who don't know, here in the U.S., most guys have to sign up for selective service. It's not the draft, but it's similar, except it's less. Oh yes, you are, and more. Well, in case we need it. But yeah. Um, so one of the things they require if you do it online, sign up online, is a social security number. That's when the issue started. That's when we discovered that what I've been using was not a real social security number. Apparently, it was a placeholder for whenever I did get one that I don't know where my mom got it, but she got a placeholder. And it was mainly to get me into school. And what occurred was at that point this me and my grandfather, we asked her, and she goes, "Oh no, you don't have a social security number." Now the problem was, see, she, my junior year of high school, she had a stroke, and for about a year, me and my grandfather were trying to take care of her and make sure she was okay. It got to the point we couldn't do that anymore, and we had to put her in a nursing home. Um, so yeah, so that started an 11-year uh, journey of dealing with the state and Social Security to get me a state certified birth certificate and a Social Security number. And I I don't know. I think it was because he didn't want to get rid of the originals, but not too much moved during the time that I was with my grandpa. He he was the one I was living with until about 4 or 5 years ago. No, 4 years ago. No, actually, technically, it would be 4.5 years ago. 4.5 years ago, he died. If you can't pick a day, he could pick a day. He died the day before Thanksgiving. And I ended up moving in here with my step grandfather, uh, who, as if you've seen the video earlier, died the day after last Christmas. The holidays are hell for my family. Just like, yeah, holidays are like the health problems area for my family. But, so what ended up happening is I kept going to Social Security trying to get this, and it got to, after I moved, me and my step granddad started going back to Social Security to go, hey, I need a number. I was never provided a number. And then I get the weird look of, what the hell? And the starting question is, where'd you live before this? And I'm like, I've never left this county. I've never lived outside of this county, this state, this country. I've been here. So, in the end, it took like, what was it? 4, 5, 6 trips before somebody at Social Security finally said, hey, you know what? You need a birth certificate. You need a state birth certificate. So, after a few months, we were able to get, and a friend of the family helped too. She was actually there for majority of the 11 years. Oh, God. Anyway, so we finally got the birth certificate. And then I went back to Social Security. Another 8 times. You know, they wanted me to prove where I was all these years, including when I was born. You'd think a birth certificate would do that. But anyway, so I got all these papers. So many papers. I have so much documentation. I have pediatric records. I have school records. I have a ton of shit. And after the 8th, and every time we would go and they would say, okay, we'll get back to you in 4 to 6 weeks. You'll hear from us. Well, 4 to 6 weeks came and went, didn't hear. So this happened for about 6 to 8 months. 6 months. This went on for let's say 7. This went on for 7 months. The seventh month is when I finally got some kind of answer back. Now, I want to point out, this was 3 years ago. That means that the reply back was not what I was hoping for. The reply back was, you have not shown enough. Apparently, I had not shown enough of my life to them to prove I am who I say I am. Don't know how. But at that point, apparently, I was so frustrated and pissed off, I just went, let's try something else. So we ended up getting a lawyer. And we talked to him, and he ended up calling our state senator, who decided to look into it. That didn't help at all. Not at all. Although it is the first time I probably ever, if you ever want to get actual calls from Social Security, by God, get a senator on their ass. I received 2 calls from Social Security because there was a senator asking questions. So that was a thing. But yeah, it didn't help. I don't know what happened. The second guy, I don't know if he didn't care, didn't understand, but he said he told the senator that it was taken care of. He was sending me a packet or some bullshit, and packet never came. Senator thought it was taken care of. Nothing happened. And then the pandemic hit. And there's not much we could do. Well, the pandemic hit before, but after that, we were sending the guy at Social Security letters and letters and letters, and then my granddad died. And after 2 months of trying to get everything settled and scheduled with me and my uncle, who, again, long family story. It's complicated. Me and him got to Social Security. We had to make an appointment. We went to Social Security, and we proceeded. Well, because of the pandemic, I had to go in by myself. So, long story short, after 11 years, about 11 years of dealing with this, I'm finally getting my Social Security number, and everyone is ecstatic and happy. I don't think it's hit me yet. I don't know. It'd be a point where it hits me right now while I'm doing this video, but I've been in limbo for 11 years. I've been unable to do anything for about 11 years. I couldn't work. I couldn't go to school. Even though I have some college, just because it was before they changed the rules. I couldn't go to school, college. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I was in limbo for 11 years. And for at least 8 of those years, I wasn't even a real person. I had no state birth certificate. I had a county one, but not a state. And after 11 years, I want to say nightmare, but it's over. And I don't know. I guess when the card gets in the mail, I hope they told me correctly and I'm getting it. Whenever it gets in the mail and I have it, maybe that's when it hits me. But at the moment, it hasn't. And I don't know. I really do not know how to feel. So, the reason Rebel Queen, I think, mentioned that I might be streaming less so is because of this, I have to do a few things. One, I have a few tests I have to study for. I'm going to study for the A+ certification. Then I have to also learn how to drive, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I couldn't do in limbo. Search for a job. But At most, this might just make the streams a bit more. What's the word for it? Uh, More routine, I guess, is the best way to put it. More as a schedule. I don't know. It'll depend. It'll probably be more scheduled after I end up moving, but yeah. So I really don't know. But yeah, it's been kind of an interesting few days of not quite knowing how to feel about, well, anyway, I haven't I thought I'd just let you guys know. And yeah, it's a thing that happens. It's weird and rare, but my luck, I get the weird and rare situation. So whatever. Anyway, if you're enjoying what we're doing, let us know. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, so anyway, I'm out. Bye.